Or I could be
Hey, I'm
completely
back.
wrong.
I just got the old Comcast internet decided to drop out for a second. I want to talk a little bit about Drew Holiday, who is to me like one of the really interesting, hard to classify players because when we watch him, we don't get the sense, or I don't anyway, get the sense he's like a superstar in the making, but he can move his feet quick enough to stay in front of Russell Westbrook off the dribble. He makes great plays around the rim. Where is it? How would you kind of categorize his point guard development so far? And do you feel like he's progressed noticeably during this season?
No, I mean, I actually view this season as sort of a step back for him. Last year he had a really outstanding sophomore year. He made him, strides in really every area of his game, and this year he's been sound defensively, but really every other area he's stepped back. I mean, I'm kind of afraid that we're reaching the end of like a Drew Holiday bubble, and like 24 months from now, we're gonna look back and say like, what in the name of God were we talking about? Like pegging this
Oh
guy as
no.
a budding all-star that you can build a team around. That's my instinct. What
Well,
interests
that's
you
all
about
right.
him? I mean, is that
You can
what's
always. Sorry, you'll always have Spencer Hawes to fall back on, so don't worry about it.
right, right. Well, maybe not. He's an unrestricted free agent after the season, so I might lose that too.
Well, okay. So the last thing that we should talk about, I don't know, Zach. Did you ask him about his article on HoopSpeak? Did we put that in the
I
chat yet?
did not really. No, let's go for that.
All right. Well, for those who didn't read, I'm gonna drop this baby in the chat, and I'm gonna talk through it because, like, I'm gonna act like that isn't awkward. Okay, there it goes. So I thought the cool thing about this was you got a really great sense of the thing that will always define Iguodala and defines almost every player is whether or not they can score and score well. Iguodala is a guy who's done a lot for the franchise. He's carried the kind of standard of the franchise with class, but is he? I mean, where do Philadelphia fans stand on Iguodala these days?
Um, this is something I touched on in the piece. I mean, part of the problem with Iguodala is obviously that he's not a scorer. I mean, Zach actually said something where you would cut out. He asked me, can the Sixers contend when their, highest paid player isn't really like a scorer, a guy who's creating offense, but, what he called like a glue guy. That's part of the, Philadelphia fan base's beef. But another part of it is that he's been the highest paid player on teams that just, for the most part, haven't been very good. And, for that reason, he's taken a lot of flack. When we were good, it seemed like people were starting to turn on him, in a positive way. I mean, the analogy I draw a lot is it's like almost like a Pat Burrell thing, what happened with him in the Philadelphia Phillies. He was hated by the fan base for a really long time. Started great, then sort of became a disappointment, and then when we won the World Series, he was, riding in the front of the front float. So it looked for a bit like that's what was going to happen with Iguodala, but now we're losing close games again, and he's to his fault, been a big part of the reason why. I mean, he's missing free throws in key spots and not
Hit
connecting
that three
on
last night.
uncontested layups. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Well, that too.
So yeah. I mean, it looked for a minute like he actually was going to have an opportunity to really have this brilliant second moment in his career where the fans rally around him, and he was the guy who was there with us when it was bad, and now he's here with us when it's good, and we love him for that. But that was a few weeks ago. Now it looks completely different. Now people are hating him again.
All right, Tom, before you go, I know you're probably too smart for it, but there is no good reason why you are not on Twitter just all the time, have an account, just berating us with smart comments and jokes about the NBA.
Yeah,
you have to get on Twitter. There is no reason for you to not be on Twitter.
There's actually a Twitter movement called Get Tom Sunnergren on Twitter.
I don't have
you don't know about it because you're not on Twitter.
Right.
So it's very useless.
I don't have any intelligent reason not to be. I'm like a late sort of like technological adapter. Like I wasn't using Facebook until like 2 years ago. So it's it takes me a while. Baby steps. I dated my girlfriend for a year before I met her parents. So it takes me a while.
All right, man. Well, that's fair, but you do need to get on there so we can, you can find out about all the funny cat videos that we're sending around. There's a lot of really vital information on Twitter that you are missing.
Guinea pigs jumping.
All right. Yeah. I'll look into it. I'll look it.
Well, that's the best pitch we have for Twitter, apparently. fell awfully flat.
All right. So what are we doing?
All
Are we
right,
talking
Tom,
about more
thanks a
stuff,
lot
or are you
for
kicking
coming
me off?
on, man.
All right, I appreciate it.
Yeah, we gotta move it along. We gotta move it along.
All right.
Tom
Keep it
Sunnergren,
going,
ladies and gentlemen. You can email him at tsunnergren and bust his balls about getting on Twitter.
He probably has a
I
Yahoo
am on
account.
Gmail, so there you go.
Oh, wow.
There you go. You would expect him to have an Earthlink email account, but he is in fact on Gmail.
I was on AOL until 6 months ago. Don Tomas,
All right,
24.
thanks a lot, Tom.
There you go. All right. Later, guys.
Thanks, Tom. God, Philadelphia is an
there is
awesome
the
GeoCities
the
site.
ever charming Tom Sunnergren, exactly.